Hello everybody, how you doing? Just on my way out, get some things done today. Thought I'd bring you along with me. Figured out a way to hook everything up in the car so I can use the camera hands-free. It's working really good, seems to be mounted well. Been doing a little driving around, a little test driving before I actually implemented the installing the camera and risking losing everything. But like I said, it seems to be working well and safe, so it doesn't violate any laws in my state. And that's the most important thing, right? And safety first. So had a hell of a day. Regular out of this world damage control, setting out, putting out fires that were set by others. Never a fun time, but I'm sure you all have the same thing going on in your world. Seem to be finding it harder and harder every day to concentrate on doing my work when all I can think about is making plans to travel somewhere, or working on editing video, or coming up with ideas for places that I can go see that are local and not exactly too far away. That would still be very interesting and helpful to people, because I happen to live in a place where, or very nearby to a very large tourist area, one of the largest in the country. You'll soon see it has many attractions, beaches and amusement parks and all kinds of fun things, nature-wise, lots of animals and all that good stuff. So I've been working on an agenda to hit everything that I should have hit a long time ago, and promised myself I would have made video footage of and just punked out and never did. So for you, I'm going to do it. Anyway, on my way to town, have some business meetings to take care of that I couldn't handle from the home office. Gonna stop by, see a friend of mine, help him out. I used to work in construction, and I used to be an electrical contractor. Have a buddy that needs some help bidding some contracts, so every once in a while I stop over there and crunch some numbers and do a few things with him. But relatively boring shit, but still different than what I do on a regular basis, so interesting other than being at the office. Like I said, I have a good idea of what I want to do this weekend coming up. I think it's going to be really interesting. It's an attraction that's considered the greatest of its kind in the world, which, when you live next to something, you always find that hard to believe. It is beautiful and quite impressive. Overrated, I guess. When you're a local, you feel things may be overrated. But anyway, I'm going to bring you guys out there, get some magnificent scenery shots in, and show you exactly what it's like for real. There's a lot of hype around it. It says it's a lot better, I guess, than it is when you know the behind the scenes, like anything else. Still an amazing place to go and wonderful thing to do, but for sure, a lot of things you would probably want to know before you head out that way. So I'm going to share all that with you. I'm going to head up onto the exchange. It's pretty crowded this time of day. Boring, just lines and lines and lines of cars behind me. So catch up with you a little later. She is passing through the intersection. The Michelin blimp. It almost looks like a part of the street light. That's why at first I was like, am I really seeing that? Or I was up on the highway. It's been a long day, and like you see, it kind of mimics a light fixture or almost an airplane. But when you catch the profile, and I was coming around the side of the interstate, you see it, and it just catches your attention. You're like, "That's the blimp." Pretty cool. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. It's not always around. Oh my God, I love when things go that well. I was in and out of there in all of 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, estimated everything up. It's great when it's just condos and multiple units, because once you scale one, all the rest are the same, times your number, change a couple of end ones, boom, you're good to go. So back on the road, headed back to the house. Still have some daylight. I want to stop by this place I know. It's right next to the expressway. It's a giant school. I went out with my drone the other day. I was having some problems with it. It was spinning in circles. It wouldn't respond to forward back. I calibrated it several times. It was just a sweet old mess. So I want to see if it's really something wrong with the drone itself, or if it just needs new props, which I have, and I haven't changed in a while. But I believe one of the motors may be spinning slower than the others, and that's going to be a problem. It's not a very expensive one, so there'll be no replacing that motor. It'll be replacing the drone, but the camera on it's excellent. The footage from the crashes was spectacular. But as far as flight capabilities, it was 0 to none. So took it out again last night. It actually was better, but I believe, like I said, motor issues. So gonna test them over the weekend, see what the output is. Gonna go for a flight right now and see if things maybe are just performance-wise better. I haven't flown it in forever, and it seemed like the more I was flying it the other day, the better it was getting. But if not, it finally gives me a chance to buy a new one. I always hold off on spending money on stuff like that until it's absolutely necessary. But at this point, I would say it's absolutely necessary. So maybe time to treat myself to one. Mavic Pro, I was thinking that was what I was looking at last time, but I couldn't bite the bullet and spend the money. This time I feel like I have a real need for it, and I'm a much better pilot, so I'm more confident with actually spending the money and not feel like I'm throwing it away. But then I saw one last night on YouTube, of course. I was looking at the top 5 for 2018 and the top 20 for 2018 and the top 10 for 2018, and there was one that stood out that everybody kept going back to, I don't know, JJ Toy or something or other. I'm horrible with names. That's something you learn about me. Me and names don't go together. Anywho, the newest feature on this particular drone, and it was a beautiful price point, right up there with the Mavic, is if you forget to set a waypoint for return, wherever you lay the controller down, but you actually have to put it down, wherever you lay the controller down becomes the waypoint. So when it alerts you that it's low on batteries, you can just put it down where you're standing, hit return, and it comes right back to that waypoint. It becomes the waypoint. So I kind of like that feature, because I've had scares before where I've moved away from the waypoint quite a distance, overly excited, and then panic to have it return and hope I can locate where I was standing at before. So this kind of dummy-proof drone feature seems right up my alley. It's something that makes me really comfortable, especially at that price point. So probably look at some test flying and seeing what's out there. What I like to do is go to my local drone parks. Usually most enthusiasts, it's very big here where I'm at, will have most of the newer things. Easily get a Mavic Pro in my hands for a little bit and see how that is. Very likely to see one of these new ones if I write down the name and ask around. So I think that's what I'll do. What I think right now is I'm almost at the field. I'm about 2 minutes away. I'm gonna pull up in there. Got a little bit of daylight left. Pull the drone out, send it up, see if I can correct some of the flight issues I was having the other day. And if not, then we know it's time to bid it a farewell. It'll be good for playing around the house, but nothing more than that. So I think I'm going to do that and then see what's going on. Well, mission accomplished. Figured it out. It's a motor. It's the rear left. It's shot. It's not even good for anything above 10 feet. Once you get over 6 feet, it just starts circling itself and drifting around. So, looks like new drone it is, for sure. So I'm definitely losing all the light, and this camera is really bad in low light. So I think it's where I'll end it today.